Okay, everybody, hello. Mike Morgan here from Morgan Designs. You can check us out at mikemorgandesigns.com. We are doing a Zbrush demo. This is a vehicle concept, a hovercraft jet type of vehicle. We're going to do it all in Zbrush, render it in Zbrush, and do the finish off work in Photoshop. But Zbrush is going to do all the work, so we're starting off with the clip curve brush here and starting with the chassis of the vehicle or cockpit area, working on getting some nice flat shapes and angles, and this angular part is really important. And then onto the windshield, get a cool looking windshield shape here. If you see something you don't like, just erase it and do what you want. Using the rotation tool to kind of pop it out from the fuselage a little bit. Give it a cool looking angle. Clip curve brush again. I use the clip curve brush non-stop. Damn standard brush. Clay buildup, which I don't think I use the clay buildup in this vehicle, but those 4 or 5 tools are basically all I use in ZBrush. The smooth brush, I mean, you don't need much more than that. Let's see, I've noticed a lot of the artists, that's pretty much the tools they stick with. It's kind of like in real painting, you only use about 3 to 5 brushes, maybe, if that, when you're doing a canvas piece. And ZBrush is no different. You only use a few tools to get the job done. So we got taking the body of the vehicle, duplicating it, and I'm going to use that same shape and modify the shape to create one of the wings of this jet or hovercraft. That way there's like some uniformity, similarity in shapes, rather than creating a new wing. And it's less work too. And nobody will even know, because by the time you're done messing with it, it looks totally different. So I don't like to keep things real straight. Angular is kind of the theme here, so I'm going to angle those wings. And you get a contrast of straight lines with contrast of arced shapes, so those look good together. So that's the theory behind that, contrast in straight line and curve. Okay, so we're getting a cool looking front end view here. Looking pretty neat. Dialing in those wings, figuring out where they want to go exactly. Now I see that they're too long, but then I was thinking I'm going to make the vehicle body longer. So what I'm doing here is creating one of the other wings. There's going to be multiple wings on this thing, so this one will be a smaller rudder type of wing. And again, I'm going to just reharvest that shape that we used before and then modify it. And again, nobody will know the difference. And so there's a modification you can do to the clip curve brush that will, or a clip curve tool that when you clip it, it'll just kind of take layers away depending on how thick your brush is set at, and I love that. I don't know what it's called, but I use it all the time. So figuring out where this back end wing is going to go and the size of it, using the rotation and the size tools to dial it in just the way you want it. Okay, so I thought it would look cool on the top. Now I'm going to duplicate the body to create the back half of this vehicle and trim it up. I don't want it to look exactly identifiable as a reharvested shape. Oh, this is one of the missiles. This is a missile. Okay, so I always like those Yakima racks. That's what this kind of looks like, the Yakima storage device. So it has a similar shape. This was going to be a missile payload, and it'll go up under the wings. Once I get the angle dialed in right, I'll just duplicate it twice and then weld those together, and then duplicate it for the other wing, mirrored. So now here's the body modification, or the body addition, and I rotated it and flipped it. Now I'm taking the same thing again and I'm cutting it down in cylinder. This will be the jet turbine exhaust or export. And using the radial symmetry, getting the cool radial cuts. Keeping it real angular. We'll size that down and put that in the middle of the back of the ship. See, it's not symmetrical in the way that I want, so I'm kind of just fudging that area, fixing that. So I was pondering the thought of doing a X-Wing type of vehicle, but then it looked too much like a real X-Wing. So I decided to put it up more towards the cockpit and windshield. And then angled. Obviously it's probably not aerodynamically sound, but it looks cool to be angled. And then another, that could be some sort of optics on the top. Okay, so now I'm using the materials to do the parts that I want black to be black. I don't know what my paint job is going to look like yet, so right here I'm experimenting with the chrome or metallic orange, which I am going to go away from in the end. Using the mask tool to get a little color on the wings, a little shape. Actually, I should have cut this out because I didn't end up going with this paint job at all. But at least you can see the process. So duplication of the wings again, I thought it would look cool if it had a center rudder. And with the symmetry on, you can kind of bind them together and make a cool looking wing. Using mouse tool, straight lines, complemented with arched shapes and circles to get a cool graphic on the wing. Alright, so like a gray, metallic black, and an orange is the theme. Kind of a KTM motorcycle looking theme. Little details, markings. You could do stickers and actual decals and warning decals in Keyshot or Photoshop later on if you want. I got too excited to move on to the next project. I never did any stickers on this. Okay, so as you see, I went away from that paint job, doing it all orange, solid, flat. And I'm figuring out what would look cool for this paint job. I know I want the orange to be not a metallic. I know I like the flat orange, it's brighter. And I'm gonna hit up this tinted windshield. Print this all out. that looking cool. So I had to re-dynamesh at this point. And then masked off some angles and then, or some shapes of the windshield, and then use the rotation tool on it to kind of get some facets to raise out, and it'll look pretty sweet. My favorite part of this vehicle was the windshield. It had some really neat shapes in it. Alright, so damn standard right here, this thing. I love this brush. And then, so this is also damn standard with poly paint on. So not only is it cutting into the model, but it's also painting in as well. Alright, panels, vents, rivets, attachment points. Again, straight lines, angles. The theme here. Don't do any straight lines very long. So it won't be straight. Oh, nice arc there. Panels and make it look like this thing could be taken apart in pieces, worked on, maintained. They're just going all around out to the bottom. Some nice shapes in there. You know, this part's not that important because it's not going to be seen anyway. It's always going to be in shadow most of the time, but when you are doing a ship, you should do some detail on the bottom because some of your key shots may have the ship in the air, so you'd see the bottom of it. So I guess doing the detail does matter on these. Yeah, so some shapes that could take lights, and then pick your favorite shapes. And then doing this light gray color, and then the idea is have like light gray panels surrounded by orange panels, and it looks good if you don't have too many white ones close together or touching. Little pop of orange in there, this part looks really cool on the windshield with the triangles. Yeah, I love that. That looks cool. Orange looks so good on black. So this is actually like a yellow orange, warm yellow. Exhaust port blacked out. Finish off the bottom of the ship with these white panels. Wherever it looks like there's too much orange, I'm just putting in a white panel. And they kind of get some uniformity throughout. Throw some white onto the windshield. And a couple rivets. Got some great shapes on there to highlight anyway, so I ended up doing a angular border all around this windshield. This kind of adds to the shapes that are going on there, or maybe the shapes aren't showing up with the light and shadow, so then this part would help. Alright. Bottom of the fuselage is dialed, and some solid black pieces always look good, just to kind of break up the line work. Small little vents. Weird geometric shapes. So I didn't film the rocket being made just to save on time, but made some, heat seekers and rockets for this thing. And I know I'm going to do about 4, so I did one really cool one, and then I'm going to paint it the way I want it. Duplicate it 4 times. Rockets usually have a red tip, I guess, and so we got a little yellow, and then the red just kind of really stand out. And the rocket mounting device, pretty cool little shape too. Yeah, so I figured out how to do a lot of this stuff from making models, like actual models with glue, plastic, like a Rebel. That'll help you make this stuff up in your head if you've actually put together real ones. Okay, so then a little contrast of the shapes of missiles and bombs. Alright, and then now I'm going to do the paint job on the wing, the mini wings. I made some custom brushes there, some circles and some weird shapes just to break up the panels more, and looks cool. Get that paint job dialed in on the wings. So then now I'm going to do like lights, warning lights, red, brake lights or whatever. I was thinking those shapes would be cool. These long shapes. And yellow just to make something different. Cool yellow. So it looks really different. Also ties in with the tip of the missiles. Alright, that's looking pretty cool. So I see I didn't like that, and so I switched over to black outline. The yellow dot. Got those wings looking a little better. Fixing up these shapes. Too much blandness going there, so I popped that in. So I was thinking it'd be cool to have a larger rudder on the back. A funky angle. I was covering up too much of the stuff I didn't want to cover up. So I went with a smaller one and added some more details so it didn't look similar to the others. Cut it up and paint it up different. Alright, I like that. Checking it out, doing a little rotation. Yeah. Oh, okay, so do a little turntable movie of it. Alright, now we're going to bring it into Photoshop. And saving the different renders. And I'll select the mask and delete the surrounding areas. And then messing with the overlays, going between overlays and multiplies to get those shading renders looking right. And I'm doing the overlapping light here, just to make it look like it's actually in there. And then I was thinking there could be some sort of jet hot air distortion going on underneath it, so that's what that is. Drop shadow. That garbage can stick out, and then the shadow is going to be a little on the cool side, but just barely. And I'll crop it. Doing a lens blur on the total background. I duplicated that layer, did a total lens blur, and then erased some of the detail, the better looking stuff like building and ships and railings, but leave the exterior edges blurred. This will make you look to the center of the painting. Morgan Design signature. Alright. Yeah. So then I did another render also. I like to do a few. And I take these photos. I don't use anyone else's photos. When you go on vacation, take pictures. And this is why. So this is SantaCruz at the beach in the morning with really cool fog, and it's perfect for this. And the other photo was in Florence, Oregon. Let's see, again with the multiply, the messing with the curves here, and then the curves on the background. And then I did a little bit of the fog coming up over the hard edges, and then even sand color up over the missiles and bottom wings. Just a little bit, and then erasing out, back out the detail. Let's see what's next. Some sky. Okay, so I'm doing layers. Again, lens blurring the whole thing on a new layer, and then erasing back out the detail I want to show. The clouds didn't look as exciting as I wanted to, so I'm adding more clouds up here and pointing them towards the subject, the jet. So basically I use clouds to point your eye towards whatever I want you to look at, and then darken the edges to get you in towards the subject again. And I was thinking that building would look cool if a little more detail contrast came out just a tiny bit. Second reading. Okay, so the ship's the first. Second reading is the building. Third reading is, the overall environment. And then just like in real painting, you put a little piece of the color in the whole painting. So even though that orange is the contrasting color, just a little bit of orange throughout brings it all together. So there's orange in the sand. Just a little bit where nobody would even know, but it's there. And the signature. And those are them. They're done. Thank you for watching.